The interesting thing about being a floor trader was it opened up your other senses.
There we go.
Sight, your hearing, almost to a point, and clearly when you're standing toe-to-toe with a bunch of men and some women, your sense of smell can work against you.
Yeah, it's so true. I have to tag onto that. So at one point in my career down in the pits, I was taking supplements and was experimenting with certain ones, and one was garlic. So I had a little garlic pearl that I would take, and I'd keep them in the booth. And when I'd feel a little mischievous, I would take one of the pearls and open it up. And then most of us, as you know, wore trading jackets. And I sneak up behind the individual and put the pearl in there and squeeze it so it would open up all the garlic and walk away, unbeknownst to the individual. So you can imagine the guys next to him would be like, "Oh man, what did you eat for dinner last night? What kind of garlic dish did you have?" I didn't eat garlic, I swear. And then the whole discussion, argument, and then lo and behold, they'd figure it out. So
funny.
we did these little things to let the audience know to relieve some of the stress, because what James is pointing out, your senses are an ultimate alert. They are 100% going, however that may show up in the moment. All of them. And, trying to mitigate all of that. And then the emotions of making sure you made the correct trade across the pit, which could be, 50 feet plus. And we'd have a lot of these trades that others thought we traded with them, but we didn't. We were trading with somebody else. They were called out trades. We had to rectify those. How do you do that? With money. So back to James' point, there was tremendous pressure constantly about, understanding the energy of money. And people like James did fully, because he lasted many, many years there on the floor. And before we transition away from that, James, I just want to announce something that, the core energy dynamics, the four main concentrations are simply that to start out with. And they're transition, leadership, performance, and well-being. And James, all people have all of this, and we're discussing some of it now, right? But then under that are other things. They're called influencers. And James was describing some of that when a storm comes, when things are influencing the market that we're not aware of in the pits. It just comes at us through the phones. And unbeknownst to, the news wires will hit. And then the markets go bonkers. So it's really difficult to all of a sudden go from a sort of a calmer state into this really erratic state of trying to, sift through the chaos and find the calm. So how did you do that, James? How were you able to mitigate all the outside influencers and be disciplined?